The 1965 United States quarter dollar, more commonly known as the 1965 Washington quarter, holds a particularly important place in American coinage history. This year marked a major transition in the materials and minting process of U.S. coins, a turning point driven by economic necessity and the rising cost of silver. The 1965 quarter represents the very first year the United States Mint officially shifted away from producing 90% silver quarters, moving instead to a more cost-effective copper-nickel clad composition. Because of this historic change, the 1965 quarter is highly recognized among collectors as the beginning of the modern era of clad coinage in America. The obverse front of the 1965 Washington quarter features the left-facing portrait of George Washington, the nation's first president. This design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose initials, Jeff, are subtly engraved at the base of Washington's neck. The portrait was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth and became so admired that it replaced the earlier Standing Liberty design surrounding Washington's profile. The word Liberty is inscribed in bold capital letters across the top rim, symbolizing the core value upon which the nation was founded. To the left of the bust appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," reflecting the United States' spiritual heritage and resilience, while the year 1965 is positioned below Washington's neckline, signifying the date of minting. On the reverse, backside of the coin is an image of the American bald eagle, with its wings majestically spread, perched on a bundle of arrows, representing the nation's strength, preparedness, and defense. Beneath the eagle lies an olive branch, a universal emblem of peace, symbolizing the balance between the nation's might and its desire for harmony. Above the eagle, in an arc, is the inscription, United States of America, while just beneath it appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. This phrase encapsulates the unity of the states forming a single nation. Along the bottom rim, the denomination quarter dollar identifies the coin's face value of 25 cents. From a technical perspective, the 1965 quarter represented a new era of coin production. Prior to that year, all U.S. quarters, from 1932 through 1964, were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 6.25 grams. However, due to a national coin shortage and the rapidly increasing value of silver in the early 1960s, the Mint made the historic decision to remove silver from circulating coins. The 1965 Washington quarter, therefore, was the first to be struck in a clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This new composition reduced the overall weight to 5.67 grams. While the coin retained its silvery color, the edge now revealed a distinctive copper stripe, a visual hallmark of post-1964 quarters that remains to this day. The absence of a mint mark on the 1965 quarter is another distinctive feature. During this transitional period, the Mint deliberately omitted mint marks on all coins dated 1965, 1966, and 1967 to discourage collectors from hoarding them. As a result, all 1965 quarters are indistinguishable. By mint location, they were struck at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but none bear identifying marks. This decision was part of the Mint's effort to stabilize coin circulation amid widespread shortages caused by the rising demand for silver coins and public speculation. Regarding mintage and circulation, an astonishing 1,897,170 quarters were struck in 1965, an enormous production run that reflects the government's determination to flood the economy with the new clad coins and replace the hoarded silver ones. Because of this massive mintage, the 1965 quarter is extremely common in circulation, and most examples today carry only their face value of 25 cents. However, high-grade mint state MS examples, especially those graded MS 65 or above with full details and bright luster, can command modest premiums among collectors, typically ranging from $3 to $10 depending on quality. Despite being common, the 1965 quarter has a fascinating legacy among collectors due to a famous minting anomaly, the 1965 silver quarter error. Small number of quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 1964 silver planchets, 90% silver, instead of the new clad ones. These rare transitional errors were produced during the switchover period at the Philadelphia Mint. The silver 1965 quarters are significantly more valuable, worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. And silver content verification. The easiest way to identify one is by its weight. Silver quarters weigh approximately 6.25 grams, while clad quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Aesthetically, many circulated 1965 quarters show varying degrees of wear, as they have now been in use for over half a century. Over time, the raised details of Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the inscriptions often become smoothed out from handling, giving the coin a soft, muted appearance. Tarnish, toning, or surface scratches are also common. However, for collectors of modern American coinage, a well-preserved 1965 quarter still holds historical appeal because it signifies one of the most significant compositional changes in U.S. monetary history. The 1965 Washington quarter thus stands at a crossroads of American numismatic tradition, a coin that bridges the era of silver with the modern age of base metal coinage. It tells the story of a nation adapting to economic challenges while maintaining the symbols of freedom, unity, and trust that have defined its currency for centuries. Every detail, from Washington's dignified profile to the eagle's poised wings, carries forward the enduring spirit of American resilience and the artistry of the mint's engravers. Though worth only its denomination to most, to historians and collectors, the 1965 quarter is a tangible marker of a transformative moment in the nation's economic and minting history.